and welcome to episode 3 of the Ladywing Crafts podcast. My name is Zakia, and you can find me on Instagram and Ravelry at Ladywing Designs. And if you want to email me for anything, you can email me at ladywingdesigns@gmail.com. We also have a Ravelry group, so if you go to the groups tab on Ravelry, you can search Ladywing Crafts podcast over there. And yeah, feel free to come hang out and chat with us in the threads. All of the show notes will be both in the description bar down below, but without links. So the only link that I'll provide is to the actual Ravelry group. And so you can head over there, and there will be a thread for each episode, and all of the show notes will have links to any podcast I mentioned, the yarns I use. Yeah, so head over there for a little more detail in the show notes. As you probably could tell, I got my hair done. So because my birthday is in... Oh, I should also mention, today is Thursday, November the 16th, 2017. So my birthday is in 10 days on the 26th. And I'm turning 21, and so I was like, why not? Because it's been a while since I'd had my hair put in, so yeah. Do it big for 21, right? That's what it's all about. So, yeah, so let's get started. I do have one kind of admin thing to talk about, and that is the coupon code that we were offered. So I mentioned it in the last episode, in episode 2. So if you kind of stuck around until the end there, at the end of that very long retail therapy section, I mentioned that Courtney of Rita Mae Yarns has given us, or gave us a coupon code for 15% off the entire purchase. And that will end tomorrow, so Friday, November the 17th at 11:59 p.m. And I'm actually not sure what time zone that is in, but if I can figure it out, I'll pop it up on the screen with the rest of the information. But yeah, so just go over there, buy yourself some yarn with that coupon code. And even if you miss out on the coupon code, go over there, look at her yarn, give her some love, because her yarn is gorgeous. So yeah, so that ends tomorrow, and I think that's it for admin. So for what I'm wearing, so little Feelin Myself today, because I do have my hair in. I figured, so I don't, okay, well, let me explain that. So when I have just my natural hair in, I always think that I don't look good in hats, because there's like this weird spot in the back where like my hair is not short, but for some reason when I put a hat on, like the hair in the back just like disappears. And I always think that it makes me look super weird, so I don't like wearing hats if I don't have my hair in. And so I actually did not wear a hat today, but I was like, I'm going to be on the podcast, and I don't have a lot to talk about today, and so I was like, let's lengthen a little bit, and I can do some Feelin Myself. So, also from the last episode, have y'all noticed that I just like cannot talk on this podcast? Because it's a thing. But anyway, so, so this is my Sockhead Slouch hat by McClure, and it's a free pattern, and I won't take it off just because it'll mess up my hair. But yeah, so this is a recent FO, and I love it. It actually matches my shirt perfectly. The pink base that's in the yarn is maybe just a tad bit darker than the color of my shirt, so it's actually pretty perfect for today. And this yarn is Lavender Lune Yarn Company in her 75-25 base, and this is the Young Buck Rising colorway. And so I turned just a little bit so y'all could kind of see it some more. But yeah, I showed it last week, so you can always pop back to last week's episode and check that out as well. Which also, like, this will probably, by the time that this goes live, it'll probably seem like, oh, she just put up an episode like 2 days ago, because I had so many troubles last week trying to upload the second episode, because yeah, there were a bunch of user errors. So by the time I got it online, it was Sunday morning. So it hasn't even really been a week since you guys have seen me, but it's been a week for me. And I'll just go ahead and say it now that I'm not going to record next week because next Thursday is Thanksgiving. So next week I'll take off. And then I'll come back the week after that with another podcast episode. And I probably will wait until that Friday, just because it's kind of the end of a crafting season for Harry Potter House Cup group on Ravelry that I talk about a lot. So yeah, so no episode next week. So yeah, I've actually given y'all a lot to look at though. Between last week's episode, it was almost 2 hours because of all of the retail therapy, and then this week's will be a little shorter, so they'll kind of even each other out. But yeah, so let's get into some knitting, shall we? So I don't have any FOs because I've been working very monogamously on, yeah, you guessed it, my birthday sweater. So here it is. Yeah, it's going really well so far. And you can see I've got all my markers for my decrease repeats on this second sleeve. So last week when I showed it, I was where this squid progress keeper is, and this is the back hem. I had already finished the front, and so I had a little bit more of the back to do, and it's kind of curling. So I finished the back, and I've already done this first sleeve in its entirety. Oops, you guys can't see that if I drop it, right? Yeah, so something that I did a little different on the sleeves too, so the entire body of the sweater, I alternated 2 different skeins of yarn. For all of the body, I alternated yarns so that it wouldn't be like really obvious where I changed the skeins. And so I alternated, and then when I got to the sleeve, I was like, you know, it's going to end up not being that many stitches, and I didn't really want to have to deal with 2 balls, like, and have, you know, the yarn tangles, and I just didn't want to deal with it. Because it's already kind of fiddly, because I work on 9-inch circs for my sleeves, so it's already really fiddly to like just kind of twist around and around and around as much as I can get before I have to like untwist the sleeve, and I didn't want to have to deal with 2 strands of yarn coming off of that. So I decided to just take the last skein of yarn, and I just cast it on, and I was like, if they end up being kind of different, that's fine. So the first sleeve, as you can see, really speckled on both the front and the back, which I thought was gorgeous. And then, of course, I got to the second one, and one side, like, is kind of decent on speckles, and the other side is amazing. So they won't be the same, but I don't care. It's for me, and it's still going to be comfy. So that is where I am. And I've actually only got about 60 rows left, 60 rounds of between stockinette and some ribbing, and then like I'll switch to the smaller needle and do a little bit more ribbing, and then I'll be done, and I can bind it off, and then I'll just have to do the neckline up here. So you pick up stitches and you knit a few rounds of some ribbing for the neckline, and then I just have to weave in all of my ends that I still haven't done, and I can block it. I'm not really gonna block it, it's just more like get it a little damp, because it's been sitting here on my couch, and so it's kind of a little wrinkly, but I probably won't do too much to the body. I really just need to like get the hem a little damp so that it will lay out and stop curling on both sides. So hopefully that'll be done this weekend, and then it'll be ready to go with me to Thanksgiving next week. And I'm not wearing it until my birthday anyway, so I've really got until that Sunday the 26th, so it'll just be done way ahead of time, guys. And this is the yarn, before I forget, and I've shown it before, of course. This is Chickadee Woolery in their Smooshy sock base, which is 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. And this is the Willow Song colorway. And I love it. It doesn't show up all that all that well on screen, but it is more of kind of a minty bluish green base, and not necessarily the blue. It just kind of shows up as a light blue on the screen, but it's more of a mint type base. Yeah, and so this is the third skein. So the two skeins that I had, that I was alternating on the bottom. Oh, hold on, they're right here. Okay, so I was alternating those two skeins, and then when I finished the front hem and the back hem, this is all that I had left of those two, and I weighed them, and they're just enough for me to put a square in my Cozy Memories blanket. So that was also why I just said I was going to use that one skein for both of the sleeves, because I didn't want to have to like fiddle with this and kind of start on it and then join yarn in. I was like, I can just use that for the blanket. That way I know I've got a square. Yeah, so because of that, if you remember from when I first showed it, I think it was in the first episode that I showed this yarn, I had 4 skeins. So this is the 4th skein of the yarn. And all along I knew that I really wanted to do some socks out of this. And I still don't know what pattern I'm going to do, or if I'm just going to do a vanilla sock. But I have this entire 100 grams to do whatever I want with. So, I don't know. But it's here. And I love it. It's super speckly, which is one of the reasons why I sat it aside. I purposely went through and picked out which one had the most speckles, or I think I went through and said which one has the least speckles, and picked the bottom 2, and then between the top 2 I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna mark this one. I had it marked on the tag, which one was the most speckled, and then I sat it aside, and I almost ended up breaking into it for the sweater, but I'm glad I didn't, because now I have a pair of socks. But yeah, so that's that. And I'm using US sizes 3 and a size 2. The 2 is for the ribbing. That's a 2.75 millimeter needle, and I'm using a US 3 for the sleeves and the body, which is a 3.25 millimeter. Yeah, so that's that, and I'll probably finish podcasting and then knit while I'm editing, so it'll be done before you guys even see this episode. So that's it for whips, and then we're gonna move on to Cravin It. So last week I mentioned that through my binge watching of the Cozy Up with the Stitchin Sisters podcast, which I just finished binge watching actually. So on to the next one, right? Because there's so many. But so Katie, Sarah, and Jamie all fell in love with the Bendy Arrow shawl by Charlotte Bory. And I was just gifted that pattern a couple days ago. And I had said in the last episode that I really wanted to knit one because it's literally just miles of garter. And there's a little short row section, but seriously, it's just garter stitch. And I didn't know at the time which yarns I wanted to use, but remember this sparkle yarn? I remember I said, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. And Joy of the Anxious Knitter podcast suggested that I use it for part of a shawl or for I think she said a hat. But anyway, she left some suggestions in the comments for that first episode. And I'm going to take that suggestion because this shawl would seriously show this off so well. And so, so let me show this one first. So this is Wild Happy Color. And this is the Bedazzled base with Silver Stellina. It's 84% merino, superwash merino, and 16% silver stellina. And this is the Northern Lights colorway. And it's so beautiful. It has like all of the colors of Aurora Borealis too, so I'm in love with this. And the sparkle is I'm so glad that I got this on sparkle, guys. This is a really good decision because I actually almost got it on a regular stock base, so I'm really happy that I got it on sparkle. But anyway, so it will be paired with this beauty, which is, if you remember, it is also Wild Happy color. And it is the, okay, sorry, the little like sticker with the info on it kind of broke, so sorry about that. But this is her Nurture base, and it's an 80-10-10 superwash merino cashmere nylon blend. And this is the Happy colorway, like I said, or I think I said. Yeah, so I'm really happy to put these two together. And like I said the first time, there's like lime green like all over this thing. That just like you can kind of see it there, and it's like all through here. And there's like you can kind of see it right there too. It just doesn't show up well on the screen because it's really like it's a neon like highlighter green, but it's beautiful. So these are going to be a Bendy wow, I cannot talk, guys. This is going to be a Bendy Arrow shawl. And I don't know when I'll start this just because I have a lot of other projects that I need to get done right now. So hopefully when I come back after Thanksgiving for that podcast episode, I'll be showing you guys a lot of FOs because there's a ton of stuff that I need to finish. But alas, yeah, so how about we move on, of course, to some retail therapy, because you guys know I bought stuff. And it's not even necessarily that I've bought more yarn since the last episode, because it wouldn't be here. Okay, I have, but this yarn is not what I've ordered. I have a problem, guys, but I mean, really, it's beautiful yarn. So what I first want to talk about is something that I cannot even show you because I can't even look at it. So Lavender Lune Yarn Company, she did a holiday mini skein set, and this was actually one of the main reasons why I started following her this summer in the first place. This was like the third ever purchase, or one of the first 3 purchases that I made from her. It's her holiday mini skein set, and it finally got here. So it's 12 mini skeins, and I don't remember how many grams they are, maybe 20. But anyway, so I haven't looked at it yet. I'm being really good. I feel like I can't tell if it's just because of my laptop screen or if like there's a reflection. Anyway, so she has this beautiful, like, that's totally blinding me, but it's like this beautiful gold like paper that she has in here. I'm gonna move that because I feel like it's just blowing out. But here is her little thank you card for purchasing, and this is pictures of the colorway on my head, actually, of Young Buck Rising. So this is her little card that she put over in here, and those are pictures of Young Buck Rising that she took for Instagram and her Etsy shop. Wow. Yeah, and so this is her information. And she is an Etsy shop, so you can go there to look at her stuff. And again, like, I'm not going to open this, but like right on top is a little thing of extras. And okay, so first of all, there's soap in here because you can smell it, but also at the bottom of the thank you card, she has like, oh, like, thank you to these companies for helping contribute. And what's the first thing you guys see? Tuft Woolens. I'm so happy because I have not been able to try any of their soaps yet. I finally got some. Is it wrong to open the extras before December? Are we supposed to wait until December for the extras too? Like, this is a real question. I'm confused. I really just want the soaps for when... Actually, never mind, because I wanted to use it on my sweater, but I'm not, like, actually washing the sweater. Never mind. It's not getting opened. But anyway, so everything is wrapped up like this in these cute little brown bags. And she has them all tied, and so, and then she labeled them too. And so, like, this one says extras, but there are the little bags in here that have numbers on them. Yeah, and so I'm super excited. And then this is the full skein, because there was an option for when she did the pre-orders to get a full skein as well. So of course I did that too. So it's just kind of like a half advent, because it's only 12 mini skeins and not 24, but I'm okay with that. And actually I have something to show you that will kind of make up for the other half of it. And then there's like another half advent that should be on its way at some point. So there's that one too. But, okay. What was I going to say about that box? Yeah, but anyway, so that's going to be half of my advent. And what I'd planned on doing, since that's only 12, and I'll definitely have at least one more, half advent, I said, so like I'm gonna take bag number 1 from that and like open it. I'll pick which one I want to start with, it doesn't really matter, but like I'll take bag number 1 and open that on the 1st, and then on the 2nd of December I'll take the other like number 1 from the other skein kit and like open that, and so it'll be 1 1 2 2 etc. And that way it lasts the whole 24, and I don't like blow through one company first. They're kind of going at the same rate, so that'll happen. And then I guess I'll talk about this one next. I actually just got a couple packages like right before I started podcasting. So I'm just gonna open them right here on the podcast because it doesn't really matter. So this was the other. In this package is the other like little mini skein thing that I was telling you guys about. So actually I'm gonna like cut this next part out because it's gonna be super loud while I try to open this. Okay, so so the other little half kind of advent that I was telling you guys about is this one. So this is the 12 Panes of Christmas mini skein set, and this is from Super Crafty Girl, and oh my gosh guys, I'm so excited for this. So these are all 10-gram mini skeins, so these are gonna go into my blanket, which is what I pretty much always buy minis for, but specifically these are only going to be able to go in my blanket because my blanket takes a little under 10 grams. And so I love on here, she didn't like individually label them, which is probably a time saver for her. But I do love that she put on here each colorway and what colors it has in it, so you can actually go back and know which ones. Plus, she has an option for if you want to, or like you can message her on her Etsy shop if you want a full skein. I guess it's just you make a custom order. So yeah, I'm super excited about these. They're all so pretty. Yeah, so I'm gonna have a lot of fun with that. And this is actually pretty nice how she just has a separate thing in here for how to care for the hand-dyed yarn, because you could like just pop this up somewhere like in your laundry room, or like if you have a craft room or wherever you care, like wherever you store your hand knits and your handmade items. So that's pretty cool, because then most of the stuff that they tell you kind of relates to most of it. And then she has her little sticker with her logo on the back. Yeah. So, oh, and this is her business card, kind of the little logo again. And then this is where you can find her. And she is super crafty girl on Instagram, which is, of course, how I found out about this. You can see like a close-up picture of each of the yarns for that as well, because she, no, I need this. I need this. I'm trying to throw things away, like, while I'm talking to you guys. But anyway, so I was saying, on her Instagram page, she did a post, like, dedicated to each one of these so that you can actually see, what the colors are in it. And they're all so pretty. I'm super excited about that. So, of course, when you go on to people's shop, it's not like, I just want this one thing. Click, buy, done. No, of course you shop around, right? So, naturally. So, I knew that I really wanted some minis for heels, toes, and cuffs. Can anybody say that without having to, like, stop and think, really? Anyway, so I got some minis. And these are her Oasis sock base, which I think is what the other minis are as well. But this is the Oasis sock base, which is 75-25 superwash merino nylon blend. And these are 20 grams. And so this is the Gray Goose colorway, which sadly enough always makes me think of the alcohol and not like a Gray Goose. What can I say? I'm turning 21, right? This blue one is Civility. And I love this blue. It's very pretty. Not sure. Yeah, that's a little more true to color. Maybe even a little bit darker. But I love this. It's just a really pretty royal blue. And I love this gray. I really need to start buying more tonals. Not only for my socks, but just like for in projects. Instead of always trying to pair up, you know, like speckles and variegateds, like just buy some solids and then you don't have to struggle to pair things up. But this red one is Holly, and I just thought this was pretty because I don't really have a lot of red yarn. And there's also, since we're talking about Christmas stuff, there's a green one. There's like a very Christmassy green, and it's called Jolly. And that made me really happy, like holly and jolly. And then, of course, every time I think about that, then in my head I start singing Have a Holly Jolly Christmas, which is kind of funny because I'm not into Christmas songs until like Christmas Eve. So, yeah, I sometimes I like catch myself singing it for no reason. But anyway, so then I also got this skein of yarn. And this is also her Oasis sock, so 75-25. And this colorway is I Ate Your Gingerbread House. And I love gingerbread the few times that I've had it. Maybe only once or twice. It hasn't been that much. But I do like it. And so I'm not going to take the tag off here just so I can remember what it is. Oh, there it is. Okay, so let me show you guys. So this is a blue and brown and purple. There's like pinks. And then, so this is what I was looking for because in the picture on her Etsy page, when you go to buy it, you can like see it very clearly. It's like somewhere on the outside where it's obvious, but it's buried here, which is fine. This beautiful, vibrant green. And once again, this green is not showing up quite as perfectly. Here it looks more like a darker green, but it's just a little bit brighter. It does have that pop of that dark green in there, but it is also kind of a brighter green. But anyway, so I'm super excited about knitting this up. This might actually end up being Christmas socks. And okay, so while I'm on the topic of Christmas socks, well, hold on, let me show this first. So she also was really sweet and sent a little mini as well with my order. So again, there's like greens and like turquoisey aqua in this, but of course the greens aren't showing up as well, so it just looks kind of blue. I promise I'm gonna get like a decent camera one day, guys. I really will. Oh, so about I was saying about Christmas socks. So with the Lavender Lune, I got you know, that full skein that I said I was probably going to work on. So when I first ordered this set, I said, okay, well, each day, you know, I'm gonna try to like get my mini done in my Cozy Memories blanket, and then I can just work on some Christmas socks, because I was like, that would be awesome. That way when Christmas comes around, I have like a little like festive pair of socks to wear, which I still love that idea, and I'm still gonna do. Well, okay, maybe not for this one. I might have to do it with like the gingerbread house from Super Crafty Girl, because that one I kind of don't want to open until the 25th. Kind of like a full like end of Advent thing, but anyway, so if anyone watches Amy Florence of the Stranded podcast, she's the dyer behind Stranded Dyeworks as well, and she has a goal that she started, I think, this year to eventually have 25 pairs of Christmas socks. That way she can have like a sock advent starting from December 1st to December 25th, and every day she can wear Christmas socks. Anyone who knows me knows that I am, like, I'm not really big on Christmas. Like, Thanksgiving is my holiday, both because of my birthday and, like, because I get to see a bunch of family. Like, Thanksgiving is my holiday season. Earthquake. So, yeah, so anyway, like, I'm not super big into Christmas like that. Like I just said, I don't even like listening to Christmas songs and Christmas carols and stuff until like maybe Christmas Eve and like on Christmas Day, and like that's it. Like, I can't do it anytime other than that. But I kind of like this idea of like 25 days of Christmas socks. Of course, I don't think I would ever get to like 25, but I was like, maybe kind of like that week, like leading up to Christmas, so like 7, I guess. I guess it would start on the 19th. Like, anyway, like, you know, and have that 7th day be on Christmas, and like kind of do it that way. Because I have actually been buying Christmas sock yarn. Because I was like, oh, this is a cute idea to have Christmas sock yarn, but then different people keep coming out with Christmas sock yarn, and I keep buying it. So I kind of need to do a tally when December starts. And of course, I don't expect all 7 of them to be done for Christmas this year. That's not really a reliable goal right now, or an attainable goal, but I don't know. Just a thought, because I've been ordering so much Christmas sock yarn for I don't know what reason. But anyway, so since I just mentioned her, I'll go ahead and show it, because my Stranded Dyeworks yarn just got here. So let me pause again while I open this package. Alright, so this is, oh gosh, dropping it already. Okay, so this is Amy's business card. I just love her logo so much. It's so cute. And this is the back with her contact information. So, okay, so I only got 4 skeins. I think that I had 5 in my cart, and then the other one was just like a paint box, which is what she calls her one-of-a-kinds. And somebody scooped it up before I could check out, which was fine, because it wasn't really one that I had planned out to get. So I only got 4 skeins, and I'll start with this one because I got 2 of it. So this is her, hold on, because I'm gonna tell you wrong. Okay, so this is her Mettlesome colorway. I love this so much. Oh my goodness, this is so pretty. And I got this in her, oh my gosh, I did myself good. Okay. I literally have like kind of forgotten what I ordered, guys. This is kind of a long time ago. Actually, it was on November the 3rd. So it was like 2 weeks ago, but I really just don't remember. Um, anyway, so this is the, what base is this? I can't remember. Paradise. Okay, this is the Paradise base. 80-10-10 Superwash Merino Cashmere Nylon. And the colorway is Mettlesome, like I said. Oh my gosh. I love this so much. Honestly, I have no idea what it's gonna be. When I was ordering, I was like, this is really pretty, and then I said, oh my gosh, Mom would love this, and she's probably gonna ask for something in this colorway. I do this a lot when I like go to buy yarn, and I don't know if that's the way that I get myself to like purchase more things that I want, or if some things I really am like, no, Mom really is gonna want something out of this. But honestly, I've already like planned what I'm making her for Christmas. I already had a plan, and then I bought yarn and made second, well, now they're primary plans, but you know, she has like 5 gifts that I'm gonna make her for Christmas. Maybe this should just be for me? I don't know. This is what happens when you try to trick yourself, your own self, into buying yarn. So the next one that I got is Koi, and this is the Oasis base, which is 75-25 Superwash Merino Nylon. And it's the Koi colorway. Here's the little front where she like writes the name of the base. I think that's so cute. So okay, yeah, I'll just leave it on. So this is the Koi colorway. I've wanted one of these since I started watching her podcast and she showed it. I'm in love with this colorway. I really don't wear like this shade of orangish yellow that much, ever, barely. But I love this. I actually almost got 2 skeins of this, but I could not. Before, like the night before, when I was planning out exactly what I wanted, so I kind of had a game plan when I got on there, I was like, oh, well, what would I want to make out of this? But I was like, you know, if I do a shawl or something with 2 or more skeins, it needs to be something that I'm actually going to wear. And I really wanted to get 2 skeins of this and do, like, a shawl, but I was just like, I don't wear this color enough. And I don't know if it'll get worn, and I'm not gonna sell it or give it to anybody. So I just got one, but oh my gosh, is it pretty. I love this so much. So something will be done with it. And then the last one that I got is Fjord. I think that's how you say it. Her Fjord base, which is 80-20 Superwash BFL blue face luster and nylon blend. And okay, so I I got this one because the colorway is Sugar Plum, which if you're a dancer at all, like surely you've seen, even if you're not a dancer, surely you've seen the Nutcracker. Well, okay, some people haven't, but you've at least heard of it, right? Like it's like maybe the most famous ballet ever. Maybe. Is that a thing? Or rather, is that true? I don't know. It seems like it. Anyway, it's my favorite ballet because it was the first one that I'd ever seen, and I know the suite by heart, like the music to it. I know it all by heart. So immediately when she showed this on her podcast and said sugar plum, I said, oh my gosh, sugar plum fairies, and I want socks out of this. So no, I'm not making socks out of this. I am making a Sockhead hat for me to wear in the winter, especially around Christmas time, and this will be my Nutcracker hat. And actually, now that I'm thinking about it, who is it? Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade is releasing patterns for Knit Vint 2017, which is like her little pattern collection. And this year's theme is the Nutcracker. So maybe if I can find something that I really want to do with this. I know she just put out a shawl pattern today that is really pretty, and it's only supposed to take one skein. Actually, I think it's supposed to basically take like 394 yards or something, and this one's 400. So maybe I'll make this one into that shawl, because I was actually trying to figure out what skein I could use for it. So maybe. And I'll try to pop the name of the shawl on the screen, because I don't remember it right now. But anyway, so I'm super happy about this. And it looks like it's showing up more as a blue. This is purple, guys. I can't tell. Like, I noticed last week when I was editing that when I'm filming, a lot of things are like, oh, it's not showing up right at all. And then, yeah, it's not. But then sometimes when I go and I'm editing, and like the way that it actually looks to the viewer is a little bit different. So if it's showing up as purple, it's right. If it's showing up as blue, it is not right. And eventually, again, I will get a new camera eventually. Okay, so next, I'm just gonna like toss all of this on the floor, and I'll put it up later. So, next, let's do this one, because I'm super excited about this. So I have never had anything from Vivid Yarn Studio. And one day I was on Etsy and I was like, this is beautiful. Again, it probably was something she posted on Instagram. But oh my gosh. Guys, I finally have some Vivid yarn. I'm so excited. So this one is, okay, so I'm not sure if the colorway is actually, okay, you know what, I'm about to sound really stupid, because I'm pretty sure that the name of the colorway is not one of a kind. I'm pretty sure that it's a one of a kind colorway, meaning that it won't be dyed again. Anyway, I think, I'm pretty sure, but the way that it's written on here just like confused me just now. But anyway, so this is 75 25 superwash merino nylon, which is pretty much what all of my yarn is going to be in. Oh, and this is her logo with the website on here, just vividyarnstudio.com. Yeah, and so this is just so pretty. It's a nude base with just speckles of colors over in here. Dark blue and black and green and some turquoise. And some teals, and there's like little pops of some yellow over in here. So I really like this. I'm usually, and I think I've said it before, I'm usually not really big into like cream or natural bases with just like pops of color on there, because I just feel like I'm gonna pay a lot of money. I really want a lot of color because that's what I like anyway, but this was really pretty to me when I was looking. So moving on to the dark side, guys, where everything is and it is beautiful. Even a lot of the other skeins that I don't buy, because they are not necessarily dyed a lot, they're still beautiful. It's not something that I would want to wear and that I necessarily want to pay that much money for, because this is expensive. So this is, are all of these the same base? Yeah, so all of these are 75-25. So this is the Starry Night colorway, and well, not obviously, but if you know of the Starry Night painting by Vincent van Gogh, that's the inspiration, and you can tell that if you've ever seen the painting, because it's the exact colors. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. And again, there's like hints of, these colors kind of have like a greenish tint to them. Like the pops of yellow and like this little blue that's over in here. There's a little more of a green pop, like a green tint to the colors. But yeah, I love this don't know what this is going to be. Honestly, I've been really bad lately about just ordering yarn because it's pretty and not really having a plan for it. So, you know, I just have skeins to do stuff with now. But this is kind of what I wanted, was to build a stash. So I'm accomplishing my goal. And this one is my absolute favorite. I love this colorway because this is like exactly who I am as a person. Like, when people, well, I don't know what people think when they think of me, but when I think about myself as far as color, I'm a very vibrant person. So this is the Melted Crayons colorway. Again, 75/25. Oh my gosh, guys. Does this not just look like literally, I mean, it literally looks like melted crayons. So I could just look at this forever. Guys, I love this so much. The color is so vibrant. It's going to be awesome. This is going to have to be saved for something really special. I had said some socks. Naturally, I said socks. But I don't know. And honestly, actually, this probably will become socks just because of the way the colors are probably going to play out. But that is the yarn that I got from Vivid. And I just have 2 more, so we're almost done. So, sorry for the crinkle. So, I got, or I'll show you this first. So I bought my first ever sock blank, and I've wanted one of these for a really long time, and I've seen several that I've loved, but before I've just kind of been like, I don't really want to pay that much more money for a sock blank instead of a skein of yarn, because sometimes they can be a little bit more expensive. But I saw this one, and I was just like, this is gorgeous, so I had to get it. And this is Beach Bum Yarn and Soap Shop. And this is, I think all of these, yeah, so these are all 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. Again, what I usually buy for my yarn. And this is the Oh Dear colorway. And I'll just take this off. And so I saw a picture of this and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have this. So this is the sock blank, guys. Oh my goodness. Look at that color. This is just so beautiful to me. So I'm really excited. This is definitely going to be a pair of socks because that's what I bought it for. And actually I say that, but like, you don't have to use sock blanks for socks. Like, you can use them for shawl. Like, you can use them for anything that you would use fingering weight yarn for, because that's all it is. It's just already knitted up. So I actually said, because this one I ended up getting 2 skeins of the Oh Dear colorway, because she had a pre-order open for it, and I loved this so much that I was like, I'm probably gonna love this colorway. So so these are the skeins of the yarn that I got. So this is the Oh Dear colorway in the actual skein. And it's gorgeous. I love this so much. So much. And again, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. I got 2 skeins just because I really loved it, and I was like, I'd rather have 2 skeins than 1 just in case there is something that I end up wanting to make and it needs 2 skeins. But this one could also, like, if I just need like 100 grams of something and I wanted more of a darker kind of tone to it, because this does have a darker tone than the skeins. Like, they're both very vibrant, but this one just overall has more of a like dark kind of background base to it. So this might not become socks. It might go into a shawl or something if I need it. But honestly, I probably won't work on it for a while because Yeah, because I already have like socks that I want to work on now. So, not to mention that I have a pair of socks on the needles anyway. So, this is, sorry for the crinkle. So this is the last thing for the day. And oh my gosh, this was also another very first purchase from someone. So I have my first ever Hue Loco yarns, which I'm super excited about because I've never been able, well, not that I've never been able, I probably could have, but I've never ordered any of her yarn. So this, I saw on Instagram that she had pre-orders open for her November sock colorway, and so of course I got it. And actually I was kind of thrown off just a little bit when I got this because so I guess now that I know she was just kind of being festive, in the post she there was like a background of leaves. I mean, even on the Etsy page there was like a background of this like beautiful like fall leaves, like oranges and you know, the colors of fall. And it said November Sock Club, and so I thought like, oh, this must be an inspiration picture, and like never asked, just kind of assumed that that's what it was. And so I was a little bit thrown off when I saw this, and it's still pretty, I still love it, but just not what I was expecting. So anyway, this is on her Phyllis sock base, which is again 75/25, and this colorway is Amber Canopy. Yeah, so that's the name of the colorway. And this is on here really tight, so I'm not going to try to get it off. But this is the club set. And I don't know if everyone has gotten theirs now that I think about it, so sorry if I like spoiled it for you if you ordered some and you haven't gotten it yet. I forgot to do that. But anyway, so this is the Amber Canopy colorway, and it's really pretty. Oh, it's blowing out. It's super pretty. I love it. And I still, like, you know, again, not what I expected necessarily, but I'm still really happy with it. And I love that we got this blue mini with it. This is, again, it's kind of a minty bluish green. It matches this color really well right here. So yeah, I'm just glad that she did a blue and not a pink, because, or like the, you know, this tealish turquoise color, whichever one it is, instead of the pink, because I'm not really a big pink fan, I say, as I have on tons of pink. But yeah, so I'm excited. This will obviously be socks, which could change just because I could always put this like as heels, toes, and cuffs in a sock and like put it in my blanket and just use this in another project. So we'll see. I don't know yet. But yeah, so that is all of what I got this week. Oh, no, it's not. I totally forgot. Okay, so if you're on Instagram and you've been paying any attention at all to the Yarny community, you will know that Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted. Is it coming to an end? Like, how long does this usually last? Because I didn't do it last year. I didn't even know it was a thing until this year. So, is it like almost over? Or does it just keep going as long as people want to keep granting gifts? But it seems like the big like rush right out the gate is over with. And I was lucky enough to kind of participate in that. And so I actually ended up gifting $51 worth of patterns, which in hindsight is kind of a lot of money, just because I need it right now, but also it just made me feel so good to be able to give back to people. So, you know, it was like I was telling my mom, like $51, like I could have gotten like 2 skeins for myself with that money. So it felt nice to be able to like give to affect more people and gift them some patterns for them. So that was fun. And then, so the way you play is that when you gift pattern, or when you grant someone's wish, I'm going to get this right. So when you grant a wish, you are technically able to like wish for something yourself. And so I waited until I had like 2 or 3 things that I'd gifted, and then I would post another one. And so those posts are, obviously still up on Instagram if you wanted to see them. But so I got some of my wishes granted. One of the in my very first post, I just asked for some yarns, like a skein of some yarns that I haven't had a chance to work with yet. And one of those was Dragon Horde yarn, and I can't remember the name, but someone on Instagram graciously granted that wish, and she's going to send that out to me. And it's still kind of a surprise because I don't know what colorway it is, what base it is, like nothing. She's just, like, she already knows, she knows what she wants to get rid of or what she wants to send to me, and she's going to send it. And so it'll still be a surprise. And I'm looking at my show notes. That's what I'm looking down at. But some people also were able to grant my wish for some minis for my Cozy Memories blanket. I think there were like 2 different people for that. And then patterns. So I got the Bendy Arrow Shawl pattern, which is awesome because I'm going to be working on that one in the next few weeks. And then the Bal Harbor Shawl. I mean, I don't have pattern designer names for any of these, but I'll be sure to link them in the show notes so you can find them. But the Bal Harbor Shawl, the Cabledabra sweater, it's like a play on words of abracadabra, but it's really hard to say. And then the Home and Away collection by Hannah Fettig, which is the collection that has the Rosemont and the Georgetown cardigans in it, which is awesome because I'm actually going to start a Rosemont cardigan soon. Me and Melissa, the friend that I met up with for a knit night last week, we're going to do a knit along for Rosemont. So I don't know, maybe I'll extend that to the podcast. Or maybe we can just do like a Home and Away knit along in general, because I think there are like 7, maybe, I can't remember. There are like 7 patterns in that collection, somewhere around there. So maybe I'll do that. What do you guys think? Comment below if you would like to see that happen. But it won't be until the new year. So like no time soon. You'll still have the holiday season. It probably won't start until probably like mid-January, if not the end of January. But yeah, so thank you to everyone that granted those wishes. And then, so right before Get Your Yarn Wishes Granted happened, my good friend Alyssa at Madsteam on Instagram, and she has a couple other ones. I'll probably pop them on the screen because they're also about knitting. She graciously gifted me the White Horse and Zwig sweater patterns by Caitlin Hunter of Boylan Knits. So I have those 2 now, which is awesome because I love those patterns so much. Again, they won't be knit anytime soon because I'm just really bogged down. But I have them and I'm super excited about it. So thank you to everyone that granted a yarn wish or gifted me anything. Yeah, just thanks. Oh, and I forgot to say at the beginning, welcome back to any returning viewers, and hello and welcome to any new viewers. Yeah, but that's it for today's episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. A little, not too short necessarily, but definitely shorter than last week's episode. But yeah, so I will see you guys in a couple of weeks. Happy knitting!